Nerdcore could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore could rise up. It could get elevated.
Welcome to a very
Nerdcore used to be
special
just a
episode
made-up
of
word. MCs tried to
EGTN today, where we're joined by Ben again. And I swear that I just saw his cup say Bendor. It didn't, but I'm just telling you it did.
I saw.
It kind of looks like Bendor.
It's Endor,
Yeah, Bendor, it's your place.
which is Elvish for Middle Earth. Did you know that?
Is it really?
It is.
I didn't actually.
Fun
I'll be
facts
damned.
with Stitch Tano.
I thought it sounded elvish.
You're full of shit. So, welcome to Every Man's Guide to Nerddom, where we are two 30 to 40 something year olds who talk about pretty much whatever we want. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle. And if you guys would like to be part of the discussions in all the discussions, there's a link in the show notes down below for our for our Discord. Join the Discord. It's free. Discord's free. Great little community app where you can join up with us and other like-minded nerds about whatever it is you nerd about. So we have all kinds of channels for different content from our different interests from Star Wars. We got a whole new Star Wars channel now. We've got
Super active.
it's super active. We've got Legos, Funkos, video games, anime, TV shows, movies, beer, ball sports, all the stuff. So join the community. Check that out. You'll find other like-minded nerds to discuss your interests with. And if there's something that you're into that's appropriate, then we will look at making a channel for you as well, so you can link up with other people and start talking about it. So it's a pretty active Discord. Community just grows week over week over week with more and more people. So check it out. Lots of cool discussion going on in there. Also, if you'd like to hang out with us live and in person, Chris and I both stream on Twitch every Friday and Saturday night. We do Freaky Friday on Friday night, trying to play some community games with you guys out there. Play games like Pummel Party and Gang Beasts and Goose Goose Duck and like all these cool, fun community games. So Friday night, check us out. Chris is over there in Guyver Unit 01, GUYVERUNT 01. And then mine's KSIG, K_SIG. And then Saturday night, we do Spooky Saturday, where we play some indie horror games as they filter through, because there's a lot of them.
And some are better than others.
And some are better than others.
Apparently, cow udder.
So we play the good ones so you can find them and check them out. And then we play the bad ones so you don't have to. So check that out.
That was really good.
Yeah. But even with the bad ones, we have a good time. So
yeah.
Sometimes more fun with the bad ones, checking out the glitches and the weird things that happen. So check that out.
Listening to Chove cry.
Mostly listening to Chove cry. So check that out. Usually we kick off around 7:30, 8 p.m.-ish, run till about 10:30. Yeah. CST, Central Standard Time, for you people out there that are not in the middle of whatever. So check that out. It's a good time. And come hang out with us.
Come hang out.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a couple things. Before we introduce our guest, let's do two things. Get two things out of the way.
All right.
Listener of the week.
Me.
No.
Maybe.
I listen.
In an alternate universe, yes.
We need an EGTN multiverse. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That'd be confusing.
Me, Bizarro Chris.
It'd be one where we're good at video games. So,
boy, that's the rarest universe of all of them. Listener of the week, Shaunicus, our good buddy Shaunicus, who plays with us when he can.
Shaunicus.
He's honestly usually been first to comment on the YouTube page, and I think he listens at work or on the way to work, because when he works those 16-hour shifts and he's supposed to be working.
He's a hard-working man.
He is. Shaunicus. But Shaunicus, thank you very much. We really appreciate you.
We do. We do.
Shaunicus is just a good guy. Real good guy. Oh, nice. Ben just sent me the indoor screenshot.
Oh, nice.
And then
just to confirm it.
It's not like I don't believe you. I didn't believe him. Brandon asked us, our big good friend B Rob has asked us to help promote, which we did on the description last week. This week we'll do a reading of it for Splash, which he's on the board for. It is a benefit that benefits education. The donations go to education here in Oklahoma, which is a very near and dear thing to Kyle and I's heart. Him being in education, me just getting out of education, but both of us having kids in pub ed. Education's super important. We're big believers in it. So make splash with us at the Oklahoma Aquarium's largest annual fundraiser on 2/25/23 at 7 p.m. Splash is a unique event that brings together craft beers from area breweries and food from top local chefs. Also on tap will be a whiskey bourbon pool and a silent auction, making this one of Tulsa's can't-miss events. Breweries such as Nothing's Left, Stonecloud Brewing, and Prairie Artisan Ales will be pouring, while food from Burnco, McGills, and the McNellies Group will be available, just to name a few. Please visit oklahomaaquarium.org for tickets. B Rob has been the chair for a couple years, and I can tell you it sells out pretty quick. Because there's just so much to do there, and it goes to a good cause.
Goes to a great cause.
Is that
And
the
if,
aquarium
even
in
if you
Tulsa?
don't like kids, they got
Yeah, and
beer there.
Jinx.
So
Yeah, even if you don't like kids, just go get some beer and some
go get some
whiskey.
beer. Yeah.
Go drink beer with the sharks.
Yeah, that's right.
I've been there.
So,
I don't live in Oklahoma, guys.
and he's see, even Ben will go. Speaking of Ben, who do we
Gypsy
got with us
sharks.
back today? Baby
Don't start.
shark.
It's
Baby
Ben.
start that.
Ben. Do.
Got Mr. Ben back. Welcome back.
Thanks. Good to be back.
Welcome back.
Had a good time last episode. If you guys didn't catch that, do that.
He's our new Wikipedia.
He is
And-
a wealth of knowledge.
Well, you see, he just said, "Stop touching me, Kyle," and Wookie.
Oh, I'm impressed. Well done.
Oh,
See, thank you.
Natural
improving.
Han Solo.
Yes.
We're
So,
improving.
what are we
sir.
talking about today, Kyle?
So we're back on the bad batches, or we're still on the bad batches. We're still on it.
the batches of
Yeah.
bads.
So we're going to go over episode 3 of Bad Batch. If you
Season 2.
guys, season 2, episode 3. If you guys haven't watched it and you want to avoid spoilers, now would be a good time to, don't close it, just mute it and let us keep getting the listen there. But
Unless this is how you get your info.
Chove.
Chove.
Jove.
But
mean-
we like to take these and try to break them down scene by scene. Go through, do a little bit of a deep dive, not a quick run over. That was the original intent of these like a long time ago. And we figured out we can't do that. So we go into pretty good, deep, detailed information. We've done it for Bad Batch. We've done it for a lot of Marvel stuff.
Loki.
Loki. WandaVision was our first. That's where we cut our teeth.
I was gonna say
Mhm.
WandaVision. Your guys' Nerkies on WandaVision got me hooked to this podcast.
Aw.
Aw.
It was
Aw.
'cause
You're
I've
You're
already
already on
seen
the
all
show,
of
you don't
WandaVision,
have to
so
suck
then
up.
you guys, I was just blown away. I was like, man, they are nerds, but I'm down.
Well,
our people.
wait. Thank you.
I think. Yeah. Well, it's in the title. We are
It
nerds.
was a slap in the face.
Oh, it
but
is
was a
in the
compliment.
title, isn't it?
It is in the title.
Who snuck that in?
So we like to kind of get deep in the weeds. I like to think that we have discovered some Easter eggs that nobody found, if
Mhm.
they were accurate or not. But they seemed like Easter eggs to us. We really went down some rabbit holes in WandaVision.
Well, it's like you said last week. I still hold that we have found some that no one else has.
Yep. And
Let's
if you
go
want to
hold
find
with
out what
us.
those are, go back and listen to the old episodes.
Do it.
Like, subscribe, and all that stuff.
So
Oh, okay. I thought I broke my desk.
let's get going with episode 3
Let's get it. Oh, did I join?
of Bad Batch season 2.
Oh, waiting for you to start. That's what it is. And so for you guys that are watching, if you see us like looking off screen a lot, we're watching this together with Disney's fabulous group watch that works seamlessly. And thanks, Disney.
Thanks, Disney.
It is a cool feature, but we're watching it in real time together so we can pause and talk about scenes and look for stuff in the background. We love to look for stuff in the background.
Mm-hmm.
That's where all the goodies are hidden. Deep in the background.
deep in the background.
So where did we leave off last, Chris?
Last, we left off with the end of episode 2, where they left the occupied former home of Dooku.
Cerealia.
Thank you, sir. And they ended up having.
It was
I think
pretty much a
that's-
Firefly episode. The
It
plan
wa-
did not
It
go
was
awry.
a Firefly episode, wasn't
It
it?
went awry.
That's a great.
Lots
For those of you who
action.
like Firefly, that's a great comparison.
I'm a brown coat.
The brown coats, yep, all the way. But we also see that's the start of where we see Echo start to think about, could they be doing more?
Mhm.
You've seen him vocalize that a couple times now, and this is the start of, can more be happening? Can we do more for the universe? Like, the Empire is evil. We have to do something.
Echo's turning into the guy at those company meetings where you're like, all right, man, we got our project done. He's like, we got some free time. If there's anything else that we could help out with, like, dude, let us
We're
get our-
done.
we're done. And no. He's like, no, we got to achieve more, right? He's gonna be the guy that starts talking about synergy and like teamwork. That's
And
what's
then
gonna happen.
as he comes in, when everyone's drinking a beer, like, here comes Echo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's because he's got a computer in his brain, so he's able to use more than just 8% of his.
That is true. Well,
Mhm.
and he's also got something that's not computerized. He's got that conscience that we're seeing a lot more of, which to me is kind of weird, because you wouldn't think, with him being more robotic, more cyborgish than clone at this point,
Mhm.
you would think he'd have a little bit more, like just more calculating, like, does not compute.
Well, you see the difference between Tech and him in the last episode, where Tech was like, I never thought of, like, he's like, oh, separatist artifact. And no, I'm Cerulean. I was here before the war. I never thought of that like that. Where Echo does see that, because he wasn't, the Bad Batch was just bred different.
Good old
Yep.
space
Absolutely.
Mr. Rogers putting things in perspective.
All right, Kyle, keep going. I have to go rescue Bendor.
Oh no.
Apparently he has something stuck in his grill. Bendor's my robot. For those of you who don't know, we've talked about this before, but
His
all right,
Roomba.
my Roomba. Go ahead and you guys go ahead and start. I'll be right back.
So on Solitary Clone, so we hold on, did it say what planet we were on?
We do not know which planet we're on, but
Very
it
ominous.
looks like some type of temple from
Good.
like Rogue One.
Very temple. Looks like maybe almost looks like it would be like some type of mining type plant, like really dusty, really red, not a lot
Yeah.
of vegetation. So they're
on Mars.
They're on Mars.
They're on
We're gonna
Mars.
throw it out there. They're on
Yep.
Mars. And we have an Imperial shuttle landing. So what I liked about this one, before we get into like any spoilers, like we kind of broke away from the main group, and we'll see why here later. But as the Imperial shuttle lands, we've got people like residents scattering. We've got an officer and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 troopers coming out. And that's never good. When they start walking in like that and everybody's scattering, I mean, it's not like they're there to be like, hey guys, how's it going? Just letting you know we moved in planet next door, and wanted to bring you guys some cookies or something. Like, it's not going to be a welcome sight. I can see if my closed captions are on, because I'm not getting words. Hold on here.
No, there's no talking yet.
Okay. Oh, there it is. So we see Tawny Ames, and I'm probably pronounced that wrong. I'd have to hear it. And so Ben, like, throw us in here. Like, is that? I'm trying to think if we've seen her before.
We haven't seen her before.
It seems like we've seen this race before several times.
I want to say they're a human race once they
Or
take
the-
off their helmets, but they are, I believe they're like a Switzerland in the Galactic and the Clone War. They weren't a separatist. They weren't with the Republic.
Hmm.
They're trying to be an independent planet system. And so they've never bent a knee to the Empire, and Now you're seeing an imperial invasion or takeover.
Yep.
Let's-
The beginnings of it.
You want to rewind, Guyver?
Well, no, this just goes along with it. Time frame. I did some research on this. I was telling Ben and Kyle this earlier. The time frame we're looking at with this episode is literally a couple months after the formation of the empire. So we thought it was like a year or so, but it's literally like 2 or 3 months.
Still a baby empire.
So yeah, it's still early days of the empire.
So we can tell from her conversation, like this isn't the first contact with it, because this is the first probably in-person contact with it. So I'm sure they reached out on the old space telephone and be like, hey, you're part of the empire now. And she's like, no. As she's saying right here, she's like, what'd she say? As I told your government, Desix, that's where we are. Desix does not fall under imperial jurisdiction. Take your forces and leave peacefully. So they're trying to be diplomatic. But the way he said back, how do you word it here? I thought was very like almost corporate speak. Said your message had been I went a little bit too far. 1 second here. I like how he said this. She asked him to leave peacefully, and he said your request has been received, reviewed, and as you can see, rejected.
Well, and if you look, the guard behind her is like vacationing Master Chief.
Yeah.
Like he's just got the thing. Okay, flash fact. Another thing I found out. So, as the officers coming down with the troopers, if you notice, one, very important, they're not clone troopers. They're stormtroopers.
Different helmets.
This was the original TK Troopers design. From Ralph McCurry's. It was his original envisioning of how the stormtroopers should look. So just cool little flashback.
That's awesome. We see a bunch of B1 droids now pop up behind them.
Which another flash fact is, if you look at that, this is a callback to Clone Wars.
Yes.
Because you have the separatists versus
droids.
Yeah, the separatist droids versus the Empire Republic. Just kind of cool. It would make sense since they were a separatist part of the separatist army that they would have the droids. They're still the holdouts.
I thought they were Switzerland. I was wrong. I'm sorry, everyone.
They're close.
I've seen I know you said T1. I've seen them also referred to as the R0GR droids.
Really?
Yeah. Like I was kind of looking through some another T1, but I've seen it going through some like Easter egg stuff. And in one of the pages they refer to them as R0GR droids or Roger droids.
No,
that's awesome. Roger.
Yeah.
Side note, I was playing Lego Star Wars and I came across a character you can add, and it was a B1 droid from one of the books. I forget which series it is, but it was a trilogy of books, and the droid was Mr. Bones. I was shocked that they pulled a book character into
the game.
Well,
that's cool. Well, that's why I'm hoping that they pull like Mara Jade at some point.
There's so much stuff to pull from.
There is, and his name is Mr. Bones. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was like he made him his personal bodyguard droid, and he was much better than a normal B1 droid.
How Mr. Bones was a pleasure droid.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh, I was
he should have been with that name though. I was looking up boner droids.
There's a B1. I'm trying to see.
Let's not get into the B1 deep corners of Coruscant droids here.
That's for later. So next thing we know, we see it's Crosshair. He's sleeping in this bunk, and it's a dark room, and There's no posters of like Kathy Ireland or Cindy Crawford up there.
No, it doesn't have the one of the chicks sitting on the back of a truck that says hauling ass.
Yep.
You know,
Nope. None of
no.
that. None of that. None of the Victoria's Secret ones.
No Belushi College.
Nope. Nope. No Belushi.
No
That'd be hilarious if
Padme.
they did like a take on that and just like had that in randomly in one of these soldiers' quarters that looked like that, but it was like, I don't know. Who could they put on that poster to make it
Stid. Or Wrecker.
Wrecker holding up a big bag of Mantel mix and just
Mantel mix.
like got one in each hand?
You guys familiar with the popcorn guy, the Washington State University popcorn guy that just dumped the bag of popcorn on his face during a football game? Oh,
Okay,
ESPN loves him.
We're gonna have to.
He
Look
just
that
sat there.
up.
I gotta look at popcorn guy now.
No one has a poster of Padme on Geonosis.
That's
Oh.
true too.
I mean, come on, that would be what the Star Wars fanboys would put up on their wall.
Or Leia.
Leia's not around yet for this.
It could be a time episode with Doctor Who.
I'm seeing pictures of popcorn guy now, and he's amazing.
Yeah.
Be careful when you type in on the internet guy who two hands stuff into his mouth.
Well, it's
Oh,
not even
I
hands.
landed
He
where I
just
wanted.
Dumped the whole bag in.
Yeah, he's got two bags. He's double fisted.
He's the man. But okay, so we see Crosshair. You kind of feel like this is a lonely existence. He's in the mess hall now eating, getting his
Alone.
rations. It looks like Galactic Turkey Leg Day.
Yep.
And one of the troopers has like a galactic burrito.
I thought it was a potato.
Oh, it looks like a galactic burrito.
It's a loaf.
You guys got me hungry now. This
It's a
is
chof
like
loaf.
Space loaf.
this
Mm.
Bad Batch Mean Girls right here.
You can't sit with us. They asked him for his pink shirt back and he couldn't get it. Or is it Crosshair's heavy flow and wide set blaster? But he's sitting down and the other troopers get up and leave from the
You
table.
don't look like us.
And that's exactly what it is.
You're
Then over
different
the
than all of us that are the same.
over the intercom, you hear CT-9904, report to Vice Admiral Rampart's office immediately.
You have a future in the industry of doing just that. Like,
If only on the PA.
yeah, that's your niche.
I did like how they made it like kind of hard to hear. Like it is a PA system in a giant mess hall.
To be fair, for me, everything's hard to hear. But
Well, you only got one ear. Lieutenant Dane only got one ear.
well, between the two, they work about like one. So they're not that great.
Oh, those hunters and what is it, Papua New Guinea, the cannibals that collect ears on necklaces.
Mhm.
They'd
Yeah.
get Kyle's and go,
This one's bad.
bad, throw it off. It's not worth on the necklace. Here, give it to Baba.
Yeah.
Baba will wear anything.
He didn't even get to finish his meal. He just started stirring his little bowl of, I'm going to say, soup.
Why did-
Galactic chowder.
That's why he's so skinny.
Yeah, like he never gets to eat. He's always getting called up to the boss's office.
We see Rampart, and he's like, congratulations, you've been medically cleared for active duty. So this is the first time we've seen Crosshair since season 2 started. We know that he was hurt and left on what? Ben, do you
Camino.
remember what planet it was?
He was on Camino after they
It was Camino.
destroyed it.
That's right. And they kind of just left him there. We don't know what the time period is at this point. But
Omega tried to have him come with them, but he chose to stay behind. Or
Well, you had to follow orders.
because
Well, he
Crosshair's
didn't
the
follow orders at
butthole.
that point.
He did. Good soldiers follow orders. They medically clear him. And now we find out he was there for 32 rotations. Left for dead, and yet you still came back. And he's like, why? And he says, I'm a soldier of the Empire. Mark that down, boys and girls. That's our theme for the past 2 seasons. Good soldiers follow orders, and now they believe these clones believe themselves to be the soldiers of the Empire, so they're going to follow orders.
I was waiting for him to say that good soldiers follow orders.
I was
And
too.
he didn't. Can we? So we got Vice Admiral. Was he Vice Admiral?
Rampart. Yeah, he's Vice Admiral at this point.
Vice Admiral Dick. We got a
Vice
new one.
Admiral Dick.
Yeah. He's, oh my God. He's got like upper management written all over him. Like,
I think he's more middle management with ambitions for upper management.
There it is. That's perfect, actually. Yeah.
Because he is vice.
Yep, he is Vice.
He's
He's
Vice.
middle.
He's one
with
floor
upper.
down.
He can't get into the executive washroom yet.
He's assistant to the Admiral. So,
I am an assistant manager for the Empire.
Except they have it abbreviated just ass of the manager.
And they couldn't afford all the the Empire's still new, so they couldn't afford all the letters on his door in the office. So it just says ass ramp.
I was going to go with Ass Admiral, but Ass Ramp's a lot better.
I like ass ramp, and it's like, excuse me, sir. I hear there's a party.
They put a space between the P and the art, so it's ass ramp art.
Ass ramp art. It's like they're drawing cars.
You know they prank him when he's not like he's not paying any attention at all. They're just like hiding shit, like slowly moving stuff around his desk where it's just slightly askew. Because he would be the guy that would get upset about that. Like, who moved my pen?
They
It's
do
on your
a
chest. It's right where
You
you
know, the
left it.
clones are walking by going, I know I was born 2 years ago, but something's wrong with this sign.
they're drinking their space coffee in a very what would the accent be, like Wisconsin accent or Chicago accent?
That
Something's
ain't
wrong
supposed
with
to be
it.
capitalized.
And then they do a montage with two of the clones as they're pranking him, and they're playing the best friend song that they do in every TV show.
They penny jam it in his office.
Everyone knows I'm with my best friend.
One of them's carrying a little pot of space chili and trips and spills it everywhere and trying to bring it to the office party.
That's
They put
Wrecker.
That's
Space Malox or in his space chili.
God, I just get like this icky feeling every time I see Rampart on the screen. Like even like right now, where we got a pause where he's doing the thing where like his fingers are together and he's sitting like,
Excellent.
we really need to talk about your work ethic and your commitment to the company.
I
Commitment
see
to the
you.
Empire.
He goes, Crosshair, I see that you've missed a lot of work lately.
I wouldn't say I've exactly been missing it, Rampart.
And hit play. And he tells him he's got a mission for him, and it's hey, it's an outer rim separatist world. I wouldn't pay it any mind, but the newly appointed imperial governor has been taken hostage. We can see now, we know that as we get later on in the series, like with Rebels and the other Star Wars shows, that the Empire appointed the imperial governors, and they were not very nice.
No.
So they wasted really no. Honestly, I was a little surprised that it was this early in the series when they were appointing those imperial governors.
Got to move fast because
They
you got
did.
stuff like what's happening on Desix right now.
They're all about law and order, but they're more about chaos and order, which does
But you
not make any sense.
No, would you call it a controlled chaos?
It's complete controlled chaos.
So I would agree with that. Just
I-
shaking up everything.
So I figured it out. Rampart is basically Robert California, and right now Crosshair is Creed. With okay. Anyway,
Point Kyle. Point Kyle.
I got one.
Yay! So we know the planet is Desix, like we said earlier. And he's like, but we do not negotiate. You're being sent in under the disguise of diplomatic resolution. And he's like, just fuck him up, is
Yeah,
what he's
move.
saying.
God, he's so snaky. But he is Empire. But he's like, even for the Empire, he's kind of snaky.
I think he perfectly represents the ambition that this new empire represents.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Until you
Like-
advance so quickly.
Yeah, do anything necessary to get to the top.
He's the non-tactful
Arkin.
imperial officer. He's like, we're the Empire. We're the bosses now. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah. Listen to what I say. I graduated from Space Yell. You should be able to.
Space boot camp. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
But-
jump right up the ranks.
Oh, here's another big thing. So
This was cool. I thought this was yeah.
we know Rampart hates what? Clones.
Clones. Yeah. I was trying to think of something funny and I had nothing.
And Taco Tuesday. He's not fond of Taco Tuesday.
Yeah. Doesn't sign Sherry's birthday card.
Yeah, he never signs anyone's birthday card. That's why he's ass ramp.
Denies overtime. Only gives them pizza parties.
They're not even good pizza parties. It's like Little Caesars.
That's it's like Little Caesars.
I
But you
he
get
brings in
unlimited
Papa
breadsticks,
He
so-
brings in Papa Murphy's like, now you have to bake it.
No, do it
But we don't have
yourself.
an oven.
Figure it out. Making notes does not have ambition.
Bitch. Cannot problem solve efficiently. One of the parts is Crosshair's like, what's okay, cool, I'll take my squad in. And Rampart's like, no,
No.
you're not ready to be a commander. It's
Mm-mm.
do you guys think he was trying to set him up for failure? Because we know he
Yes.
wants the clones to fail.
Yes.
Mhm.
You do. Okay.
100%.
I do too.
He's doing everything he can without just explicitly shooting him off the back of a ship.
So they're doing that. We see clones walking, the clone troopers in their white armor, and then we see Crosshair in his. Would you say it's dark trooper armor that he wears now?
No, I think it's still his original batch outfit.
Is it?
Because he was black. He was different from all the other ones.
Oh, that's right.
was
His was
Black, and then he had green on
across
his.
it.
Like,
That's right. I thought
mirrored
it was
green.
red.
No, he had green, which
Green.
was maybe
So
it was a
it's the
foreshadow because the Empire, their
Mhm.
blaster bolts on like their TIE fighters are green, and then
Mhm.
the Republic, the Rebels, their blaster file on like X-wings and stuff are red. I don't know if that's maybe I'm digging too deep into that one.
No, I think you're digging the perfect depth.
Yeah. No, keep digging.
It's an Easter egg no one else knows about.
We call it.
Another first. So next thing we know, we see clone walking up to Crosshair, and the helmet is way different than the other troopers.
He's got the special edition.
He's
Paid
got the
extra.
special edition. He's got the antenna. He's got like, I don't know if that's a space camera. They're supposed to have that on at all times to
Or
record their
scope.
space interactions.
Body
So they
cam.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
The body cam. And then he's also got like this visor kind of thing over it.
Shields
I'm
him
like-
from all the suns they see.
I didn't know who it was at first. I totally admit that. I had a feeling it's someone we've seen before, just because the helmet's completely different.
Yeah.
Ben, did you know right off
Yeah.
the bat, or would you have a guess?
I knew who it was. I was excited.
So he took off his helmet, and it's a clone.
Surprise!
Surprise! He goes, "It's been a while. Good to see you." And it is Commander Cody.
Woohoo!
We do love Commander Cody. What's different is he's not wearing the yellow anymore, and didn't have that big shoulder pad that he used to have.
You
Now
think
it's
this-
a. Go ahead.
Do you think that's because of the empire or imperialistic assimilation where they're trying to thin out the clones,
Mhm.
or Rampart is at least, and trying to, I don't know if it's like being not new and fresh, but now it's the empire. So all the past stuff is slowly fading out and looking for like uniformity and that type of thing. Yeah.
Yep, I will say yes. I think Ben says yes too.
Ben agrees.
Mm-hmm.
His mouth is saying no, but
I
his
concur.
eyes are saying yes.
Mhm.
And he's like, Commander Cody, I didn't recognize you. I think that that's a big line right there. because the clones used to be able to tell like the commanders, the captains, apart just by their uniform,
Hmm.
by their
Yeah.
armor, and now they can't.
Yeah, they've
So-
simulated them all back to kind of lower ranks.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of important.
Like taking
Um,
away almost any individuality any of the clones would have had, and all the
Which,
other.
and they fought hard for individuality. That's why random tattoos on faces. They
Mhm.
wanted names. They didn't want to go by their CT numbers.
If you look at Commander Cody's forehead there, he originally wanted to be called Moon Knight.
Ah. Oh, that didn't work out.
No, it didn't.
The ambition, the joke was good. The ambition was not for Cody.
Thank
Like, oh nope, you're just Cody. Fine.
No, he just has one personality, unfortunately.
Yep. Only one. And it's the cabbie. For those of you who don't know, if you look at Commander Cody's face, he's got this moon-shaped scar on his head.
It's a crescent.
It's a crescent moon, not a crescent wrench. There's a difference. He's like, your squad was different by design. They're kind of going back and forth, and he's like, regs have gone AWOL too. And they're just kind of going back and forth right now while they're looking at the
Was it the battle memorial? What do they call it? Something memorial.
The 40 commandments or something. Yeah, what did they call it, Ben? Do you remember?
I do not remember what that is called,
I
but
think Rampart said the battle memorial, or it was announced battle memorial, or
I'm pretty
something
sure it's a
similar to
battle
that.
remote memorial.
Yeah,
Is it, do you think all the clones that have died?
maybe.
It could be, but the problem with that is I don't think they would put their individual names that
They'd put
their
their
nicknames.
CT.
I think they'd put CT, and all the Arabish, they all start different letters. So otherwise you'd see CT
The guy who
constantly, and then the numbers, which the
Yeah.
numbers are a lot easier to read than
the,
standard Arabish.
the
me.
the guy who's in charge of all this is getting sick of doing it. So it's like, okay, so here we're just gonna just put CT 1 through 999.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
could really save a lot of money on that wall.
Yeah.
Just need a
Um,
hyphen.
Yeah.
The
that's all
Konami
it
cheat
is.
codes on there somewhere.
Wait.
I'm gonna be right back, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Which clone trooper was up, down, down, left, right, BA select start?
Oh, that was
Who was that?
CNTRA. Yeah,
Oh, yes, I believe so.
yeah, Clone Trooper Contra. So
Yeah, I believe so. Cody says, rumor are more and more clones have been questioning the order. So we're starting to see some cracks in the clones programming.
Yeah.
Um,
which I think gives some hope for Crosshair. Like this is planning. Okay, my thought,
redemption.
this is planting some seeds of doubt in his head. It's going to take a while. It's not just gonna be like next episode. He's like, screw you guys, I'm going back to the boys. Like, I think it'll take a while.
Right there. So basically, okay, there's two things here. So Crosshair says after that, what does he say? Then they're traitors like the Jedi. It's black and white for Crosshair.
Yeah.
If you look at Commander Cody's face there, I don't know if that's like blaster fire, but you see the scar in his face.
Yeah.
But you also see the lines, like almost like he's getting old.
Oh, look at his hair. He's got some little gray streaks. Got a little salt and pepper going on.
Because we know the clones have shortened lifespans.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering how old Commander Cody is at this point. He's got to be old.
Yeah. Or aged. He's
Aged up, yeah.
Not necessarily old. He's aged.
Aged. He's a silver fox clone.
Boy, that almost went really wrong.
Yeah, for cocks, clone clocks. So they board. They're in hyperspace. They're driving along. So basically, Commander Cody is debriefing everyone, saying the insurgents have sees they taken Governor Groton hostage. I thought it was Governor Glutton at first, but
No.
it's not.
It's Groton. And I was waiting for this whole episode for the governor appointed. He's not really
Right.
elect. Governor appointed. I was waiting for him to like fight back, like get actually kind of violent so he could hit somebody or maybe like whack one of the troopers and then be like, "Ow, Groton." Sorry, that was cheesy.
No, that was
Oh.
great.
Oh, cheesy.
That was so great, though. Ah, Groton.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and cheesy. I do like this pilot's helmet here.
Mhm.
This is Imperial Shuttle 995 requesting permission to enter Desic space. So you see, it's their shuttle coming down with all the troops.
Yep. And they're talking with the tactical droid, which is important.
Very important.
Mhm.
He's like, I am the legitimate governor of Desic, you scrap heap. And like, I love the droids.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, you'll have your freedom when we have ours. So this design, so there was this old anime called Desert Punk, where the current governor looks exactly the same as that. Are you looking it up?
Yep.
So Desert Punk anime.
Oh my God.
Does it
is
not?
Very similar. Huh. You mean to tell me that they would have borrowed ideas from other things and put them in Star Wars?
Weird, right?
Never.
Actually,
Blasphemy, sir.
Remind me to tell you guys, Lily had a great idea for an episode about one thing we should talk about, but we'll need to get all the Star Wars junkies together for it. About Star Wars borrowing from other stuff.
I'm down for that
That'll
one.
be a good episode. Okay.
Not controversial at all.
No.
Oh no, the whole basis on Star Wars is not controversial at all.
No. Well, that's why I think that'd be a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
She takes off her helmet and she's like, you guys suck. We hate you. And the Imperial's like, you lost the war. Give it up, lady.
And she says, "You want to know how I know you're a little punk? You got 4 little buttons. That's it."
You don't have
On
enough
his lapel.
buttons.
And all she does when they do that, she goes, boop, boop.
Demoted.
Demoted.
See, look, she has more buttons on her lapel.
Yeah.
It really does. You can tell she's a war veteran. So the shuttle enters the atmosphere, and then I think this is cool because I love these. It's the tactical droid.
Mhm.
You see one of those, and those, if you remember from the Clone Wars, which Kyle doesn't because he's never watched it, those were the ones that commanded the entire armies. They're the ones who did all the tactics, and they learned and adjusted at a super fast rate.
Mhm.
So they were kind of the backbone of the droid army.
They were the only reason why those B1 droids were of any use.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, okay, you guys keep going. I'll be right back.
Okay, so we got attack droid like scanning as the ship's coming down. The attack droids are cool. So she announces to the governor, who now has her helmet off. I looked away when that happened. That they're within range, and she says, "Let's welcome them." And so now,
Tactical droid is now waving to the shuttle. No.
Hey guys, over here. No, you're landing in the Brent. Come closer. Come closer. And and so we get to see the droids in action again for the first time in a long time. The shuttle starts coming in closer, and I'm waiting for it. Here we go. She tells them airstrike team move into position, and they go rolling out with their little space RPGs and set up to start shooting at the shuttle as it's coming in. Also, I can't remember the designation for the tanks. I know there's a designation for them.
They just, in the last episode, they referred to them just as separatist tanks.
Separatist tanks. And so they start just blasting at the ship, the shuttle as it's coming in. So we get our action sequence that we need, our first action sequence. They land a few hits on it and it crashes The droids high five because they're happy. They haven't got to do anything in a while.
Yeah.
And they see that it was neutralized and crashed in Sector 5. I'm glad that she was able to. Well, I guess she is a droid, so she knows exactly where all the sectors are. I probably would have had to think of it. And they send scouts out to look for any survivors. So, shuttles down. I like how the Desix governor, I already forgot her name, was
it
aware.
Tommy or something like that?
Oh crap! What was her name? I had it all pulled up on IMDb and I closed it because I knew I would forget. Tawny Ames.
Connie.
Yep. And so the droids go out. They see, they're saying no survivors. We got at least 1, 2 troopers dead in there. But they went out the back door or I guess the front door, and started flanking them, blasting. And so we got Cody and Crosshair. Yeah, there it is. There's his little green visor.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're sitting up for a pretty good little battle sequence here, which it's just like they planned for because they've got some range and they have Crosshair. Like, it's not like they crash like right super close to where he can't use his super fun Crosshair abilities to be able to shoot things from really far, far away. So they start moving into position, and Cody's talking about like not enough cover. Any direction we come, the tank's going to pick us off. And Crosshair says, well, these tanks all have the same weaknesses. Droid's operating them. So he gets to scope down on them. We get to see something really cool here pretty soon. Crosshair's, abilities and his skills. Like, it's not just a fancy name. He's a damn good shot. What is that? Oh, they do have crops. That was something I was going to mention earlier. Like, they didn't, like, the planet's pretty like devoid of like vegetation and stuff, but they had their little crops in the area. We see Crosshair like purposefully, I don't want to say he missed the shots. It was more to draw their attention, because he could have taken out every single one of those droids with all those shots that he fired, but it was just enough to keep their attention so the rest of the troops could move around. And this is such a cool scene.
It's an awesome scene. You see the tanks firing around him, and he doesn't even flinch.
Doesn't flinch. You've got the debris. He's just waiting for his perfect moment, and puts one right down the chute.
Right in the old rampart chute.
Mm-hmm.
Right on the old droid chute.
Yeah, that was cool. I kind of wish they Indiana Jones it and just like the cannon back,
bananaed it a little bit, like peeled it back.
They're gonna have a scene later where there's some sort of a cargo ship with big props.
Oh yeah,
and they're fighting it. Yep.
One droid pulled out some blades, and he's just like, pew.
And they're gonna have one droid that's gonna be really tiny, and it's gonna be named Short Droid.
Mm-hmm.
The tactical droid pulls out a electro staff.
Ah!
You go Pee Wee Herman there for a second?
I did. Ah! Okay, and then all the droids. So this is total Clone Wars vibe. Clone Wars vibes right here. The clones versus the droids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really enjoyed this part.
It's just like old times.
It is like old times that Kyle hasn't seen.
I've seen some. I'm going to start over at the beginning again, though.
Yeah. You just got to make it to season 2, and then it starts all making sense.
I thought you said season 5 last time. There's a lot of seasons.
No, season 2, halfway through season 2.
Okay.
So we see here they breach the entrance, and Crosshair says he notices that the droids are moving in certain formations. So he knows from past experience they've got a tactical droid. We need to get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's what's really important too, I think, is another reason why the Empire just can't get rid of the clones. They have this combat experience right now and know how to put down like the droids and other stuff. You have the Commander Codys out there.
Mm-hmm. And the Crosshairs.
And the Crosshairs. So
They're just, yeah. I think the plan is like not to immediately get rid of them, but either slowly phase them out, or their own version of Order 66 be like Order 67 is the next one. They start
Order 67.
Yeah.
Order
It's better
67.
because there's one more.
Oh, I asked for no
Kasich
pickles.
is excited for Order 69.
Yeah,
He
yeah, I'm
really
just
is.
waiting for that to happen. Here, that's where it really gets interesting. They just flip everything on its head.
Everything gets flipped on its head. And
I like this scene right here where there was it as a mother, I believe,
in the
a
kid,
child, and what is
And
what
a
does he say?
droidica rolls in.
What does Cody say here?
the droidica.
Yeah, basically like when they're announcing like the words he used were not the words I was thinking, but he says it's okay, we're here to help. It's like, it's okay, we're from the government, we're here to help.
Yeah,
Like that's what I immediately thought, because
Which is important.
very important.
extremely important. Well, and then if you also look too, Commander Cody immediately lowered his gun when he saw it was civvies. Immediately lowered his gun. Crosshair kept it on. If you look on the kid, like especially that angle right there, he's pointing it at the kid.
Oh yeah,
It hasn't,
Not the mom, but at the kid.
I think it's clicked with Cody. It hasn't fully clicked with him yet. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It still hasn't totally hit him of how bad the situation, that they're the bad guys.
he's a bad guy, but just not bad
Yeah,
guy.
Cody's a bad guy, but he's not bad guy.
Which that means that we're showing some cracks in the armor of Cody. And then what
Probably
rolled
had to
in,
get
Ben?
new armor.
It's a droidica, also known as a destroyer droid.
Which are awesome. They're some of my favorites. So the ones with the shields, if you remember.
Yep.
They threw a grenade at it, bounced
Little-
off the shield.
Little roly
Best way
poly
to
crab
get rid of
droids.
those is you have to slowly roll the grenade through the shield. Too
'Cause,
fast, it won't enter.
Yeah, because it's something of a certain velocity bounces off it.
They're kinetic shields.
Kinetic shields, so they just yell, "Chof sucks."
Chof sucks. Suck it, Chof.
Every time you hit it, it goes, "Chof sucks. Chof sucks."
That's a kinetics shield.
Oh, that's
Totally different.
right.
Yeah, they haven't evolved to that yet because this was a long time ago.
Oh, was it in
In
a
a
galaxy far, far away?
Yeah.
We see the tactical droid taking stock of the situation. There's a shit ton of droids.
Lots of battle, lots
And-
of shooting.
Yep. Like, have you
Peace.
found the tactical droid yet? And Crosshair's like, it's in the bell tower. Worst Crosshair impression ever.
I got it though.
But he's shooting and shooting. I mean, this scene is just it's a firefight, is what it
Yep.
is.
That little move right there where he popped him with a little
Yeah.
sticky and then shot him where he would, as
Fall
Ben was
through.
saying, slowly fall into the shield.
Which is amazing.
Crosshair shows off a little bit in this episode.
He does. He's a little showy. A little showy.
He is a dick, but he's awesome.
Rampart probably wants to talk to him about that.
It's-
Like,
It's big and he knows how to use it.
mhm.
That's right. All right. And then they make it into the tower. And
Find the
they
governor's
see-
hat.
Yep, the
The
governor's
Imperial
hat.
governor's hat.
Thank you.
Yeah. Important distinction.
And then what droids show up here, Ben?
Assassin droids.
And if you guys remember from Clone Wars, the assassin droids are the really hard ones to kill because they're extremely nimble.
They're nimbly bimbly like cats.
They
Jumping
are.
around limb to limb.
So, okay, let's talk about this for just a second. We're talking
Right,
logistics.
meow?
And, no, yeah, right.
What's going on over Meow?
Right, meow.
If the assassin, they are this good, they're this hard to kill, they're this nimble and accurate. Why didn't they just like, okay, we're gonna stop making the Rogers and we're just make a shit ton of assassin droids because they're badass, they're better.
It's
Like,
actually a really good question.
Like, were they just more expensive? Like, was it not in the budget? Were they waiting for the quarterly numbers to get up? I don't know.
Well, I have nothing to base this off of.
I mean,
because
the
there's
Rogers
been
were
no
basically,
info on any of this.
Cannon fodder.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the point.
I think there was a pandemic before the Clone Wars and
Oh,
the
yeah.
chips. They just
There's a
weren't able
chip
to get
shortage,
the chips.
It was hard to get.
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
assassin droid chips.
We
Yeah.
weren't able to get them.
They couldn't get the right head,
Yeah.
and it was just the battle droid head. And they're
Mhm.
like, that doesn't look right.
That doesn't look right. It really doesn't really match up. Yeah. Space Samsung went on lockdown. You couldn't get all of it. It was a whole thing.
It's not OLED screens for their eyes anymore.
Droid
That's gonna be the-
Shack had just closed too.
That's gonna be the next series. It's like nothing but them all in lockdown because of the space pandemic. Like
Nothing
we
but
can't get any parts or
droid.
anything. Yeah.
Them working on their sourdoughs.
All these little Facebook groups.
The
start
droid
popping up.
GPUs were hard to get, and
Mm-hmm.
they were just overcharging them.
They have
One of those 4090s were burning themselves up. So they
It
had
burned
to-
out the droids.
that's why the assassins ran on the 490s and the BDs run.
I'm feeling
Lower.
really hot right now, sir. Okay, so we see the
I would
firefight-
watch that series.
I would too, actually.
Hmm.
It's like office droids. That
Like-
would be.
You see,
I would watch that.
some of them are
Office
just
Space.
crocheting. They've got like their own little space craft beer station in the back. Like, I'm going to learn a new talent and skill. And then at the end of the series, it's over, and they try to call them all back to work. Like, we've been able to do all this from home the entire time. We've been fighting and now you're going to make us come back in? No. We want to war from home. So,
That's what Obi-Wan said.
mhm.
Well, that was a good one.
Okay,
That part makes them
so
come back to the office.
yes. So they get ambushed by the assassin droids. One of the troopers gets just mowed down immediately and drops all his grenades.
Mhm.
So boom, boom.
Pew 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 pew. I
Pew,
wish they
pew.
would put that in the subtitles whenever there's a
Pew, pew,
blaster
pew, pew,
fight.
pew. Yeah.
It just says pew pew at the bottom.
So apparently that trooper's name was Nova.
Was
And if you notice, here's something else that's important too, I think. When they called Crosshair, he said CT99 or whatever his, reporting.
9904.
He didn't say Crosshair.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Cody said Nova when the trooper died. He didn't say CT 903 90210. He said Nova. Called him by his name.
CT Dawson's Creek.
CT Dawson's Creek. Where's CT Pacey?
Man, but they find out that CT 90210 wasn't dead, and like, oh, it's CT 90210, the reunion. We find him back, and
They're all going to the CT Peach Pit.
oh god,
Um,
we're old. Okay, so
where are we hanging out? What apartments are you hanging out at? CT Melrose Place.
yeah, I'm gonna go see all my CT friends. Space Ross and Space Chandler.
Space Ross and Pivot. Space Pivot.
Spacey cat, I
Correction.
love you.
I'm going to correct myself here. Those are not assassin droids. Those are commando droids.
Oh,
Still, my argument
Commando.
stands. Oh, I guess you can only have so many commandos.
The assassin droids are those of like IG-11, IG-88 from like
Oh
Mandalorian.
yeah.
Oh yeah. You're right. You're
The
right.
can
My
heads.
apologies.
Little
So
chimney
the
stacks.
commando droids were the equivalent of the clone ARC troopers, weren't they? Maybe. Ben's
Awesome.
looking it up. He'll get back.
Looking
to
it
us.
up. Let's not be
if you
wrong
look-
here.
They activate more of the commando droids.
Mhm.
What
So
is that,
sitting there
6
waiting.
of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just waiting for commands.
The spiral staircase of death.
It always gets you in every video game.
It does. Like, so he throws his little. What does he call? I mean, it's just his little mirror disc thing.
I think that's AirTag from Apple, Space
yeah.
Apple,
Spapple.
Spapple. Spapple. He throws the mirror thing and then he makes it ricochet off and shoot. He shows why he's the best sharpshooter in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody should make a montage of this little scene, which is like the best around.
Keep me down. Okay. Crosshair versus Fennec Shan in a sharpshooting contest.
Crosshair.
Yeah, but I just thought it'd be cool to bring up.
We got to do some more of those battles.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that again next time.
Bring back the wheel of random.
Yep. So Commander Cody brings out his little hunter knife and just stabs. He's like, "Why did you leave me? Why?"
How does he charge his knife? I wonder because it's glowy. Is it like USB-C? Is it
I
is
bet
there like
it's
a galactic
USB-C.
standard for it? Okay.
Everything's moving to USB-C.
Yeah. Thank God.
See that in Europe, they've required within like the next so many years that there's going to be one port.
Thank God. Like
Good, because there's no standard right now.
They're going
There's
full
zero
Empire with the
standards.
Empire port thing. One.
Yes. Oh my God, it's happening. This is how it ends. Okay.
Well, fuck, why not?
Or is this
No,
how it
ChatGPT
begins?
no, we can't do that because that's
Chat-
it. Oh no, that's how it all begins.
Oh, we got ChatGPT taking over everything.
D&D's down. Pathfinder's taking over.
I mean, this is how the Empire started.
Dogs are friends with cats. What's happening? Like,
Up is down. Zangief is not a bad guy.
This is it.
What are we gonna
We were
do?
talking about this last night. We're living in a simulation. And now it's glitched. Nerd, PC nerd. You would,
You
if you're
seen any
listening.
pretty ladies in a red dress walk past you lately, guys?
But they only had Kyle's.
Do you know
face
where
on
I
it.
live? You know how I haven't.
Only
Red
on the
dress or
corner.
No, I have not a lot of pretty. Okay, anyway.
Oh, maybe that's what they're going to
Just
do with this.
Teresa on Saturdays.
They're going to start putting galactic QR codes as tramp stamps on people.
Oh, that's what. Okay.
Oh, your name is Bethany.
Oh, God. You're going to start a trend where it's a QR code tramp stamp and you scan it and just goes to their OnlyFans.
It'll say, "My name is Kyle."
Well,
It'll go to their OnlyFans. He's like, he gave him the puck. He's like, "Where do you need the puck?" He's like, "Just throw it as far as you can."
puck it, Crosshair.
Puck it. The tactical droid is protect the governor at all cost, and then Crosshair's grunting.
Mm.
Cody gets shot in the shoulder.
Phew.
That was awesome, though.
Bet he's really good at pool.
Oh, I bet he's great at it. Like
Yeah.
he threw that, shot it midair, and hit the tactical droid in the eye, and then here comes the flame trooper.
I love the
Crosshair
flame
just-
troopers.
I do too.
When they just come
Cross-
walking in, they're just like, "Doo, doo, 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 just another day in the office." Like everybody else is fighting and shooting, and they just come in just like sauntering through the front door with this like swagger, like, "Yep,
I'm here.
Set this guy on fire. Set this guy on fire. Wonder what I got in my lunchbox." Do, 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 do.
Do you think that they're using space propane for that
And accessories.
and accessories? Yeah. What were you gonna say, Ben?
I was going to say, Crosshair is going to pull a Hawkeye line. I went and played golf. Played 18, shot 18. Pool's boring.
And Cody just looks at him and goes,
You get that womp womp background music.
"Yeah." And
Crosshair at it again. Your antics.
your antics. And next thing we know, we see Tawny Ames, the separatist governor, who has the imperial governor in a show clock.
Tony
Gun to
Ames.
his head.
That sounds like the
Sorry.
name of like some like a mid '90s like
Porn star.
folk singer that got popular on VH1 and plays
Like-
nothing but acoustic music and a piano.
Like
That's
Tori
Tommy
Amos.
Ames. Tawny Ames.
Yeah.
Well, there's a very famous tattoo artist named Ami James.
Really?
Ah,
Very, very cool artwork. Specializes in Japanese.
ooh,
Okay.
worth-
Was
Sneaky
this-
inspiration.
Is this a guy or a girl?
He's a guy.
He's a guy. Okay. Was he on Tattoo Master or whatever it's called? Ink
Uh,
Master?
He's on the last season. He's one of the judges on the last season of Ink Masters, but he was Miami Ink. Like the start of the whole tattoo TV shows, he was one of the first ones.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check.
Bald
that out.
guy.
So this is
I'm gonna have to check
her
that out.
first appearance too. So we're getting a lot of first characters.
Yep. It's her first and last.
Oh,
And she's leaving her face fully exposed with a sharpshooter standing 10 feet away.
Yep.
and
Like,
Well, and here's the thing. Her speech is like, you guys are the only threat. We were living here fine.
Yeah.
And
Things
you
are
guys are the
fine.
threat. This is the whole idea behind the separatists. And the whole thing about the empire moving in, leave us fucking alone.
yeah, just leave us alone. We don't want to be part of your
Ben, you
politics.
look like you want to say something.
well, if you're not familiar with the timing of when Star Wars came out and what was going on in the world, the whole inspiration behind Star Wars and the Empire is the Vietnam War. The Empire is the U.S.
Yep.
Everyone else is Vietnam.
Mhm.
We didn't need to be there. Leave us
Yep.
alone. We're fine.
So
Yep.
that's the whole thing with this.
And just
And we're not
carries
saying
on.
we're anti-America either, everyone.
Nope.
What we're saying is this is what it was based off of before
Yeah.
we get any nasty comments.
Just history.
And literally history because of what they based Star Wars off of.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it at the time it was current events, and that's where you're going to get a lot of. I mean, it still happens today. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Look at South Park.
yeah, current events inspire pop media, and just how it works. Politics, disagreement or not, like that's just pop
And
culture.
if you didn't know that before you fell in love with Star Wars and now you hate Star Wars because you disagree with that, I'm
You're
sorry.
welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
He's like, and apologizes. I think you're welcome.
So basically, this whole long thing, this standoff, is her saying, "Your empire is evil. We just want to be left alone. Like, leave the planet.
Mhm.
Just leave us alone. We won't mess with you all. Just don't mess with us. That's all we want. Just leave us alone." And she said, I realized then peace was never an option after your emperor rejected our terms.
And he's the coach.
Cody lowers his
"Aw."
gun and tells Crosshair, lower your gun. And he takes off his helmet and sets it down real slowly.
Mhm.
And he's like, this is an option, puts down his gun.
They do not use guns in Star Wars. Those are blasters.
Or his blaster.
It's blast.
And
Blaster gun.
If I could space punch you right now, I would.
Mhm.
Too many people died here. There we go. Wait, hold on.
All the more reason to watch the video version of the podcast if you guys
100%.
because I'm sure it's not lined up like you guys are seeing it right now. You punched me, Ben moved. Where's
It went through it. So Cody's like, this is an option, basically let's have a peaceful resolution for this. She lets him go, and the governor, imperial governor, goes, okay, that's great. Kill her.
Yeah.
And Cody's like, I don't know.
I feel icky.
He's like, where's my Moon Knight costume?
So she says, so much for peace. And he's like, I gave you an order, face it or follow the consequences for it. And pew.
And she's dead.
And end scene, dead.
Insane. And insane.
Now we pan over to Crosshair's gun.
Yep.
Blaster's smoking.
Yep.
And his little helmet that makes it look like he has buck teeth. Have you look at it.
Hey,
You
Cody.
see it? Yeah. And he's like, hang her body from the front of this,
Yeah.
make her an example. Like very Dracula Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah.
I like how he walks out of the room still handcuffed.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's
Like,
go.
hey guys, can you undo this? No, I'll just walk out.
No, I'm good.
Still cuffed.
Oh, she had the key.
When you can see the turmoil in Cody's face.
Uh-oh.
They've rounded them all up.
Something went wrong. I lost connection to the show.
You did?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get back to it. Yeah. Like something went wrong. Let me see if I can get back in.
Just reload. It should let you right back in.
I'm trying. Join stream. Because there was something important I was getting ready to talk about. Go back.
Was it your
Okay.
space underwear?
No. Okay, so this is where so we see now the occupation starting to begin, because we have the Imperial ship like ominously in the background.
Mhm.
I like it because it's cool. Okay, so here, let me move
That
it.
is an awesome shot.
I loved this shot so much for so many reasons. I mean, one,
Like
you've got
Mustafar.
you got the occupying ship kind of like faded in the background a little bit.
Right.
What are you guys? He's giving that. Yeah, I like it's a cool aesthetic. Like it's what they've been doing with the whole show. Like it's not the Clone Wars esque.
Mm-mm.
It's like heightened detail, and that's what I'm liking. It's like it's grittier and it's darker.
Well, look at the Imperial ship peeking out from those clouds, those storm
Mhm.
clouds. Like you can only see, like the middle to front part. The back is like hidden. It's just
The storm is coming.
Well,
Yeah.
you know why they got the back like
Yes.
that, right?
Uh-uh.
Like why they only show
Yes.
like just the tip.
Oh yeah, it's just the tip of Star Wars.
No, the back of it, because if they made it clear, you would be able to see Mephisto on the back of the ship.
Oh,
knowing that
piss
he was-
off!
You didn't
Ben
see
knew
that
it was
coming?
But
No.
Ben knew it was
Dude,
coming.
Bring
He
it.
saw it.
Do
He was
I
like, "Come on
ever
with
see
Go."
it? Damn coming? No.
And you were
'cause
nodding
I
in
get so-
agreement, Chris. So I'm
I
like,
get
man, I
so
gotta stall now.
enthralled into our conversations because I respect you.
I
I don't
thought you
respect
knew
you,
it was
but-
coming. I'm like, I gotta stall.
No.
He's on to me.
No, I'm talking about the ambiance and how cool it looks going through the clouds.
Just
Ben
remember
saw it
that
come
I,
from a
I
mile
listened
away.
to over 100. Well, I listened to about 90 episodes in 3 months, and so I was learned very quickly how to cue into the Mephisto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Chris
here's
still
the
hasn't.
thing. After
Meanwhile,
3 years, Chris hasn't.
Oh yeah, right there.
Ah! I'm stupid. I hate you guys.
Also, I learned when I needed to mute it so that the kids, if they were listening, didn't have to hear Guyver.
Talking about space bukkake.
F off.
Yeah. It's true. Okay. So if we look, the troopers that have come in to mop up are not
Mhm.
our clone troopers.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, look at it.
Oh, now they're packing their bags.
See the helmets?
Oh, yeah, I didn't catch that.
They're not letting the clones take the glory for this.
Mm-mm.
No,
Nope.
but they definitely use the clones to.
It's the fodder, cannon fodder.
Yep.
If they die, they die.
Mm-hmm. And then
So it's more of the occupation beginning. You see Crosshair starting to leave to load up. And we pan over to Cody.
Cody does not look happy.
He does not at all.
Crosshair just kind of
Dick.
chews his toothpick. Yeah, he's like, dick.
Make me do your dirty work. Rabble.
Robble. Do you have any Bargs root beer?
I want some bargs.
Where's some Bargs? They're all coming down. There's the governor, and out walks
More stormtroopers.
more stormtroopers.
Mm-hmm.
Not a battalion, but
Yep.
there's a bunch of them.
And it clicks with Cody. It had already clicked with him, but at that point, he knows.
Mm-hmm. He's like, we're expendable because there's no more clone troopers here. All the clone troopers are on my shuttle.
Yep.
There was only a few stormtroopers that went on the shuttle with him. If you noticed, there was a combination, but
Not many,
not many.
but none of the troopers, clone troopers, stuck around.
Yep. So where is their base of operations? Where are they right now?
Of course not.
Of course not. Okay.
Cody's looking at the wall, says, tell me, Crosshair, this new empire, are we making the galaxy better? You can see, here's the turning point for Cody.
Mhm.
And he said, well, what makes us better or different from battle droids? We make our own decisions, our own choices, which directly goes against good soldiers follow orders.
Yep. And you see, just cross. I would think that would royally piss him off, but I think this is him starting to think.
Do you think so?
I think so. Now I don't know because I'm only 3 episodes in. I gotta watch 4 today, but that's how I feel. Like it's even if he doesn't in very soon for me to watch episodes, I think it's planting the seeds for it.
What do you think, Ben?
Well, I also think that like that conversation there is he's saying that if you're saying good soldiers follow orders and the droids don't think for themselves, how are you any different
Then the droid.
from what you fought in the
Mhm.
Clone Wars? And now you're just a
Ooh,
droid
that's
working
deep.
for.
Blindly following orders.
Ooh, that got deep.
Good
Deep
soldier
thoughts with
follows
Stitch
orders,
Tano.
but a good human has morality and might question.
Question the system. Which was kind of always the Bail Organa motto.
Yep. Bail, Mon Mothma.
Mm-hmm. Saw Gerrera to a point, to a degree.
Yeah, Saw Gerrera, that's an onion right there. You got to peel back slowly.
He's one of my favorite characters, though.
He's great. So if you want to get into a sidebar with him, he starts off fully human. When we Rogue One, the last time you see him, he's got the
Vader breathing apparatus.
yeah, he's Vader breathing apparatus. He's turning more machine. He's not like they're trying to say he's still human, but he's not human. So he's got that gray area.
Mhm.
He's that
Fuzzy logic.
yeah. So there's a whole I could go on and on, but I'll stop there.
And Cody's finishing saying we have to live with these choices that we make. Like, and I think that was a direct reference to shooting the governor.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And he walks off, and Crosshair's just standing alone. He's like, I gotta eat alone again.
Lunch is gonna be lonely.
My space turkey leg. And he's sitting in his room with his hand, like before he was just kind of sleeping like stiff. Now
Yeah.
you see one hand over his forehead, like he's deep in thought.
Yeah.
And he's bending over the bed, like, okay, is it all
Yes.
worth it? And I think this is very symbolic because then he starts looking at his helmet too. It just kind of sticks there for a second or two.
Yeah.
And I think you're right, Kyle. He's thinking, am I doing the right thing?
Mm-hmm. Eating his sad, lonely lunch again.
Except he's in armor this time. It's like
Yeah.
CT-9904, report to Vice Admiral Rampart's office.
At least he got a couple bites in. He got a little space
Bring-
kiwi.
Bring space kiwis. He walks in and Rampart's playing space minesweeper,
Mm-hmm. Space Candy Crush.
space Candy Crush.
You get to level 9,904. What a coincidence!
What a coincidence. He's like, I'm entrusting you with another mission. Report to CC 1226. Why not Commander Cody? Okay, what's the difference between CT and CCs? CT was Clone Trooper. CC was that Clone Commander?
Probably Clone Commander.
That's what I thought.
You never really hear a clone number go 5 digits. And there had to have been hundreds and thousands of them, right?
Right.
I think they just recycle numbers like they do phone numbers. Like, okay, well, now you're 2224.
Wait, sir, I'm
What's really
2224.
depressing,
Starts
We
getting
lost
spam
depressing for the
orders.
guys that show up to the Coruscant base and their numbers are already on the memorial board.
Yeah, like,
It's like,
wait a minute.
I'm not dead.
I'm not dead yet.
Yes, you are. No, I'm right here.
I got better.
You are quite dead. I got better.
I'm
Um,
alive.
I feel happy.
I bring to you these 10 memorials. By the way, that's next month,
Oh, the
part 2
long-awaited
on
sequel.
Hulu. Yeah, 40 years later.
Yeah. Better late than never.
Better late than never.
What is this?
History of the World.
Oh yes,
Part 2 on
I
Hulu.
saw that.
Star-studded cast. And he's like, Cody, he's like, CC2224. This just tells you how Rampart doesn't give a shit about the clones. He's like, I don't, what's his name? Who?
Yeah. Who's that
And
guy? Yeah.
He kind of scoffed. He goes, oh, yes, it does appear he has gone AWOL, which means that these orders are not absolute. Clone loyalty does not be, what do you say, does not as advertised anymore. And then he said, how these clones around you keep disappearing. I think that he's kind of insinuating that Crosshair might be part of the catalyst. Since he's abnormal anyway.
Or it's just it's a convenient thing.
Out. Yeah.
Convenient out for him.
And he's just like, you're dismissed. Go. Shoo.
Be gone.
Shoo poopy.
And so this is kind of continuing a theme that we saw a little bit in the last one. And I kind of hit on it a little bit where we said, well, yeah, this is Bad Batch, but okay, well, this is Omega's story. And they're telling all the so far, like I said, I haven't got much further past this, is they're using the group to tell the stories of all these other characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was using Crosshair to tell Cody's story, or a big part of his story, even though he wasn't in it a huge, like a little over half of it, maybe. Like It wasn't a Cody focused episode until about the last half.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
And it was building on his story. I mean, as much as Crosshairs, if not more, than the same thing with Omega. We're seeing, leaps and bounds of growth with Omega through the other guys. So I feel like that's part of the purpose, I think, is to tell all these other stories through the eyes of what's going on with the guys from the Bad Batch.
I would go with that.
Yeah.
I would definitely go with that.
It helps for storytelling. It helps to bring the audience in with that familiar character in Cody, and then let's continue on here. Use Cody as the vessel to get Crosshair to see the light, or
the anchor, kind of.
Yeah.
The connecting piece to the story.
Because it wouldn't make sense if you just had some random trooper.
Right.
Like,
what's your name? They call me
Steve.
Kurt Gowdy.
Yeah.
The porn trooper. He went rogue.
There you go, rogue.
He just fires his big old blaster everywhere.
Just aimlessly. It misses every time.
It misses all the time.
Yeah, it's pew, 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 pew. Ooh.
Oh, pew. But yeah. So what did you guys think of the episode?
I liked it.
I really liked it.
Fantastic.
Again, like I said, it was showing what Crosshair's been up to. Now we know where he is, and we're wondering if he is having any sort of change of heart at this point.
I think it's starting.
I think it is too. I don't think he is yet, but it's making him question.
Yeah.
So
he definitely has a tough exterior.
Oh yeah. For a little twink trooper.
Hardened heart.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you guys tell us what you think in the chat and the comments. We love to hear from you all. Oh, one thing we forgot to mention, Kyle, is that Mr. Ben is going to start streaming Lego builds here.
Ooh.
Try.
So I know he's been talking to Banner about it.
Yeah.
So, and Ben, I can help you probably later today too, if you need, or just ask anyone. We can help you with all that.
Yep. Oh no!
He disappeared.
Oh my God!
Where is he?
Oh, there it is. Oh, nice.
Oh, you got the Vader
Is it
helmet
showing up.
Yep.
All right.
Is that what you're going to kick off with?
That's what I'm going to kick off with.
Nice.
I've done a bunch of the helmets, and the Vader one was the last one of the current collection that I.
And you pre-ordered the Cody helmet,
and I've pre-ordered the Cody,
which it does look sweet.
I'm not going to get the Leia one because I have too many Legos.
Do you? Is that a thing?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But
I think he was told he has too many Legos.
Well, I was told I had too many, and then all of a sudden at Christmas, this
Yeah.
bad boy shows up. Let me, if I
You have to turn off your background.
biscuits.
It's
So
the
I watch a lot of Bluey.
Yep. Well, Bluey is probably one of the best shows on TV. It really
Anyway.
is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mr. Ben will be streaming as soon as he does. We will post a link to his Twitch channel.
Mhm.
When do you think you can get that going, Ben?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Okay, good.
I'll
Yeah.
put something on the Discord. And if you're not in the Discord, get your sorry behind in the Discord.
Yeah.
It is a lot of fun.
Make it happen.
If it's a good place, if you feel lonely, outcast, like you're not understood anywhere, it's a great community to be understood. I'll put it that way. We're not a bunch of misfits, but it's for people who are like-minded.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yep.
I mean, I'm a misfit, but
Here on the island of
Misfit.
misfit
why
men
am I
and women.
such a misfit?
I just had Misfit
I'm not
songs
such
in my
a
head.
net wet
Uh,
chove.
You're thinking, yeah, Cho. Kyle's thinking of the punk band, the Misfits.
Mhm.
We're thinking of
Rudolph, Rankin and Bass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Chris's love affair with them.
Oh, I love them so much. They're just so good and wholesome and creepy. So, yeah. So you guys tell us what you think.
Mhm. There's a
with
spot in the
that-
Discord for that.
Yeah. With that, this has been Every Man's Guide to Nerddom. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle. Wherever you guys are, have a great evening, night, morning, whatever time it is, wherever you are, and please be good to each other.
And thank you, Ben, for being here.
Yeah,
Kyle
thanks,
forgot
Ben.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
And stay fresh, cheese bags. See ya.
Nerd Cork, rise up. It could get elevated. Nerd Cork, rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore used to be just a made up word.